One.
Hi, welcome to Centerville Reports Today. I'm Maureen Russell Hodson. You ought to be in pictures, or at least you ought to be submitting your photos to the Beyond Point and Shoot Photography Contest. This is the 8th annual, and here to tell us more is Kristen Gopman with the City of Centerville and Sue Shay with the Centerville Library. And thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So we were saying before we started the program, it's been 8 years. It's been a great relationship between the Arts Commission and the library. Give us some of the background, Sue.
I know parts of it. Well, I think I've been involved with it since the beginning. The very first year, the Arts Commission began the contest and used the library as a location for boxes.
Drop-off point,
for
right?
people
Yeah.
to drop off potential photographs. And there was interest, but not huge involvement because it was a little difficult to do. And it sort of was a natural. That's when the world of digital photography was coming up, the internet was really exploding, and we talked over that after that first contest, what about trying to do this a different way, and instead of photographers using an actual photo, instead doing it online only. And so starting in 2008, 2009, that's what we began to do, and it's been flourishing ever since.
An incredible number of entries every year, right?
I've looked. We've averaged, I mean, the numbers are interesting, and I don't know why the difference. The highest participation was a couple of years ago. 350 photographs got submitted. And this is from teens through adults. You have to be 13 to 17.
Okay.
At the teen level, and so you don't even compete with the grown-ups in the contest. It's a standalone for the younger ones, and then adults 18 and older. So yeah, the high year 343, and it's been averaging between 250, 300 about.
Well, let's kind of break it down for our viewers then. You can start submitting August 1st through the end of August, August 31st, right?
Correct. 8 in the morning. Okay. On the beginning and 8 in the morning at the end.
Okay, so make sure you meet that deadline because
we're rigid.
Yes.
We're rigid.
Well, you have to be when you have that many photos to look at. And then there are several categories. Let's review the categories of what's available.
We have, well, one requirement, and one of the reasons I think that the Arts Commission wanted to do this in the first place was to showcase landmarks and cool things about Centerville and Washington Township in particular. And so one of the categories is local landmark. Any photograph that gets submitted in that category must be taken within the boundaries of the city of Centerville and Washington Township.
Okay.
Anything beyond that has to be submitted into a completely different category or be disqualified.
Now these categories that we're going to review, they are the same for both age groups, for the youth and for adult,
There's
right?
5 categories. Sue discussed the local landmark. We also have people, places, or travel, and nature. And then we have another category which is more artistic, black and white or artistic. That's one category. So if you have a photo that you know, you've done some editing with, used some artistic abilities, and you can submit that in that category, or if it's just a black and white photo.
Okay, and then as far as the judging goes, you have a pretty great panel of judges who've been
some wonderful judges.
Really talented judges.
They've been with us for a while. We have 3 local photographers, Jerry Huffman, Ed Panequa, and Gary Kunze, and all 3 of them, actually they're able to go from the comfort of their own home and view all of the photos and score each one individually. We have judging criteria. It's use of lighting, use of color or contrast, and visual impact. So they're able to actually score those.
Exposure and focus.
Okay.
Which we added because sometimes a judge was not certain whether a picture was blurry by accident or on purpose. And so with that, we created...
Mine are usually by accident.
But we really do have photographers who try hard to only have this or only have that in sharp focus. That's when the artistic element starts to really show up. So trying to have some categories that really tapped into the skill sets of photographers and what they were trying to do with their pictures it makes it neat.
So if you're submitting, could you submit the same photo in multiple categories, or is it one photo?
One photo per category.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can submit the same photo in different categories, but you can only submit one
I'm trying
photo
to
per
think
category.
on that one. I think, no.
But it's only
It was
one photo.
before, but we've changed that rule guideline. If a photo gets submitted, it can only be submitted once.
One time. Okay, one
So
photo.
they
Okay.
can do multiple pictures,
Right.
up
Okay.
to 5, I think,
Right.
one for
They
each
can have-
category.
Okay.
But they can't submit one picture into all 4 or 5 categories and
Okay.
hope that the picture wins at least once.
Okay. And so you had mentioned we had 2 categories. One is for youth, which you've reviewed, and the other one obviously is for adult.
Right, 18 and over.
Okay, and so you go online to the library's website to register.
It's a 100% digital contest. So the rules are posted on the library website now. People can go in and they can review, they can start making their pictures now, and fine-tuning them, trying to discard, go through. And then online in the morning, that when it opens, from that point forward, they walk through the online website, and the location to submit or enter the contest becomes live at that time, and they truly submit the whole thing digital. It's looked at digital, it's judged digital. The only time anyone actually sees a tangible picture is in November.
When there's a winner, right? So let's kind of go on. So the August 31st, the contest closes, then the judging begins, and then winners are named, and then if you are a winner, boy, you get a nice prize.
Yes, we'll actually have an award ceremony, and all of the winning photos will be on display at the Centerville Police Gallery, located in the lobby of the police department. That's at 155 West Spring Valley Road. And we have actually 2 winners. We have a winner for each category, and then we have a runner-up. So there'll be a first and second place in each category. And the first place prize is to have their photo that they entered, that they won, framed and matted, and that will be hung in the Centerville Art Gallery on the wall. And then the second place will have theirs matted, and we have a display case over there. So that's a little bit smaller, but that will be also on display for the month of November. And we're going to do an award ceremony on November 2nd from 5:30 to 6:30. The awards will be at 6. And then those photos will be on display all through the month of November. And then when we take down the exhibit in December, that is their prize. They get to take that with them.
And what we've been showing are some past award-winning photos, but I think probably one of the favorite categories for people is People's Choice.
Yeah,
right?
that's a whole concept. We hadn't brought that up. When the contest is closed and no more submissions, we work behind the scenes getting them all loaded into a server so that the judges can evaluate from their homes. But while the judges are critiquing and judging, the public gets to do the same thing. And that is indeed live, also on the library's website, where the public can go, and this is any age, it's not just restricted teens or adults. Anyone can go in and browse all of the photographs that have been submitted, and they get one that they get to pick as their personal choice of the photograph they believe captured the best of what. And sometimes it's interesting. We had one time a couple of years ago, I think, when the People's Choice and the judges came.
Right, I remember that.
And we were stuck. What do we do? Do we frame this twice? Because the People's Choice was framed also.
Right.
And so we changed the rules after that. Okay, if you happen to win 2 categories, 1 framing, but 2 recognitions on the award wall. We have also tweaked, every year we do this, we find a rule that, we should have, or maybe we could have. One thing that we have implemented the last couple of years, I think, is people may not super inscribe any text, any lettering, any promotional anything onto the surface of their photograph. If you think about it, this could be a way for somebody to do automatic advertising.
Yeah.
They put their logo on it and people see it every day. Well, no, it's
But it's a good
automatically.
point to remind people that even if you've been in this contest before, make sure that you review the rules because they may have changed since you've last
We
entered.
try to note the new
Yeah.
changes. I think
Yeah.
this year we finally adopted some of the language. The Smithsonian has a National Photography Contest, and we mimicked some of their words on what picture may not be acceptable. Too graphic, violent, so we've added that text in there. in addition to the no writing, but generally the public loves it. It's just, we get great shots of every different kind of, I mean, beautiful scenery from Europe or from the Nevadas or from our local park. Or
so if you're not a photographer, you at least want to check out to make your selection for People's Choice. And if you're not a photographer but you want to improve your photography skills, something that's separate from the contest would be these workshops that are upcoming as well, right?
They're coming up quickly, another week and a half from now. One of our photograph judges, Ed Paniqua, will be at the library doing 2 workshops on Saturday, the 6th of August. The morning workshop, if you think it's more to basic skills, basic guidelines on what looks like a good shot, layout, background, focus.
And it really is
not.
a skill. I mean, and it's a skill that can be taught.
Well, it helps people learn what to look at in a picture that looks good. So that's the basics of taking a great shot.
And that's at 10 o'clock at the
Correct.
library,
10
right?
until noon. Then we take a lunch break, and people who want to and have registered for the afternoon come in, and it's beyond point and shoot. It moves into the realm of, like Kristen had said, whether they've tweaked, whether they've added artful elements, whether they've modified the coloring, how to take it from a good picture to a great picture.
And you do need to register in advance for those,
Both of
right?
those registrations are open now. I looked, we have a pretty good crowd for the morning and also for the afternoon.
Okay, and you can register up until?
The day of.
Okay,
Or
day
we
of.
hit waiting list, but I don't think we'll have a waiting list. We should be okay. But yeah, up to the day of.
And again, this is separate, so you don't have to be part of the photography contest. However, you have plenty of time once you get these skills that you could go out and take some photos
Yeah,
as
and
well.
teens can take the workshops also.
Okay.
Which is a great opportunity for them to learn some of the basic skill sets that most photographers take for granted after, several years of doing pictures.
And there's a couple things that we want to, again, remind people. That is, if you are taking a local landmark, it must be Centerville or Washington Township.
Correct.
When we say local, that's how we're defining local.
And here's an example. Cox Arboretum, it is not in the local landmark category. They could do it under travel or places, artistic, black and white, but
Any
not
other
under
category.
local.
Okay.
And this is just some of the samples of some of the winners. Like, these are all local category. They have to be in the boundaries of Centerville and Washington
So that's
Township.
at Sheps Park.
That is.
obviously, yeah. Okay, and again, you want to go to the library's website to submit. You can start submitting at 8 a.m. On August 1st until 8 a.m. on August 31st, right?
Correct.
And then for the workshop, you want to go ahead and get registered now for that, because that's on Saturday, August 6th. And there's one at 10 o'clock, which would be more beginners. And then for advanced, it would be at 1:30.
1:30,
Right,
correct.
right, okay.
And I think if people went to the city's website,
Yes, we
there's
do have a
also,
link.
there are
Yes.
also
Okay.
links to
Well,
be
there's
able
a
to go
link
straight
to it.
to.
And I've been also putting it on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and just trying to get the word out.
Yes, yeah, so check out the Centerville's Facebook page, our Twitter. You can go to our website, which is centervilleohio.gov. And I would imagine, too, you can do it the old-fashioned way, just walk in and get information, but you'd have to register online at the library, right, Sue?
Yes. One thing as far as for the contest or the workshops, and I think it was contest last year, some of the Centerville school teachers have encouraged their students
great.
to participate. And I can tell that it's been done by a teacher because the contact email is the same for
Okay.
4 or 5 or 6 or 7 kids, which is also pretty neat. So that's another way for teachers that may be watching and thinking that this might or might not be.
Yeah, we're
it's
back in school in
absolutely-
just a
Right.
few weeks, so you might as well. Well, we hope you grab your camera and give it a shot, because it's a lot of fun, and getting out into the community, getting out into nature is always fun to take photos. Again, it's the Beyond Point and Shoot Photography Contest. It's August 1st through August 31st. You can also vote beginning in September for your People's Choice. For more information, you can go to the Centerville website, centervilleohio.gov, or the library website, wclibrary.info. Thank you so much, ladies. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.